Hello and welcome to my section in the virtual Pooka's Pageant. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Gregory McDowell and I've been writing poetry for good 10 years now, and I've belonged to Clan Ogma, and I write poetry for that. I also write poetry for rituals, and I have also a book published by myself, which I read at Leaping Hare last year. If you were there, you probably saw it. If you weren't there, you didn't see it. So in this my section, I have done 3 poems on the Golden Bower. Now, the Golden Bower, for those of you who don't know, is the Golden Bower is really a Roman myth to start with, but then a Victorian called Sir James Fraser took all the myths associated with it and put them to a book and tried to analyse them and make sense of them. And this is what I based it all on. For those of you who have a mind, you can also find there's a picture by Turner painted of it. Now, within the Golden Bower was Diana's sanctuary, which was a sanctuary dedicated to her, had high priests running it, and people would go there and make offerings and ask for help in love and other aspects of life in general. Also within the sanctuary was the gate to Hades, which is rather ironic within the sanctuary dedicated to somebody who's well known for a goddess who's considered being a goddess of love and that sort of thing. Yes, so that's always slightly strange in my mind, but hey, you've got the two have to go together somewhere along the way. So, and I've based all my 3 poems within this. Now, the sanctuary itself was set in modern day Italy in round Lake Nemi, which still exists, and it's a lovely little place from the pictures I've seen of it. So, my first poem is called Sybil's Prophecy. Now, again, for those of you who don't know who Sybil was, she was a soothsayer, a prophecy giver, if you like. You would go to her, ask her a question, say whether she should go to war, whether she should have lunch next Thursday with the Hittites, something like that. And she would come back with a very confusing, conflicting answer, which doesn't make much sense to anybody apart from herself. And you had to work it out. Hence why the Temple of Delphi had above it, before you entered, know thyself, which principally you had to know yourself before you could understand what she would be saying. So this poem is based on a young man called Aeneas, I believe he's called, and he approached to Sybil asking her how to get into Hades to speak to his dead father. Now, and this poem is based on the words of advice she gave back, as you would, because it's not somewhere you'd want to dwell too long, I would say. So this is called Sybil's Prophecy. On Sybil's breath she spun these words: to seek thy father, mark me well, for in Hades he's being interred. To venture there I shall tell. A golden bower from the god's own tree is a prize to enter Hades, is what one needs. To Anas Lake, Dinah Mirror called by some, look not deep for the sins you've done. To the left I wait for those that come, to the right does beat the wolf-skin drums. Down you go to the black sinew caves, running manic with eyes lifeless glaze. Descend, if you will, into the rotting heart, where harpies feast on blackened body parts. Through the tunnels of bloodlust caves go thee, where poor souls flayed for Hades' cloak that spans hell's skies for eternity. Past the pool of molten gold, where all tyrants are dipped, body and soul, as parasites of man, shallow and cold. For thy father is near in a granite cave, forced to carve out, as was his slaves. Ask of him what you will, for his time is not his own. Mark me well, O mortal man, and listen to the words I say. Spend not long in this place if you can, for decay waits all that linger and dwells. Make amends and ask words of truth, for the drumbeat begins to sound. 'Tis time thy to leave this godless ground. Begone, begone, before does night come, or stay and suffer as tyrants do. Go the way you came for your dear life's sake, for the drum beat sounds demise. Then immortal winds you will be, safe at least where fields are green, till your time does gather so. Hear me now, O foolish mortal man, I, Sybil, speak these words as plain. I would say it's pretty good advice, in my opinion, anyway. Not my opinion, but they're her words, anyway. So, that's that one. The next one, if I can find it, is going to be... Hang on. Right, as I said, the next one, I was trying to sort my paperwork out there, is based around Diana's mirror itself. Now, the mirror itself was really only for Diana, the goddess Diana herself, to be looking into, not for mere mortal men with, or mortal women, or mortal foxes, or mortal deers, or whatever mortal you want to be, really. But again, anybody who's not of the godly divine should be looking in there, because within it, if you look on the surface, it's golden, but underneath there is something of a not a nice nature. It shows it's like light and dark, the yin and yang. You got the nice side and you got the dark side, and this is what the mirror does. It's a bit like the mirror in that fairy tale where they call on the mirror and say who's the fairest of them all, that sort of thing. So this one is called Diana's Mirror. And a cascade of gold and temperance lays softly as echoes of youth. Not a murmur on its lake's countenance, not a shadow marks its stark truth. Within and below is this sacred waters, a very mirror for the goddess divine, lays an insidious darkness to ward off the better self of mankind. For to glaze within her mirror and see beyond the veil of light, the mortal will see his own heart, and darkness that ebbs away the light, and show upon the surface mirror the horrors of a twisted soul consumed. and the madness shall plight their own sight with dark veils of blackened doom. Take heed, friend, and not look into the water, for the breath of your own life's sake. Know thyself is best sought first, for vanity does the heart break. Right, so that was Diana's Mirror. So really, on retrospect, it's best not to look any mirrors, really. I don't, anyway. And my last offering for this room section is again taken from the place. It's called Rex Nemeresis or something like that. Something like pronounced like that. Now, within the sanctuary, you had a high priest, or king of the woods, or Rex Nemeresis. Now he would run the place, look after the place, and have he would be like a king of just the sanctuary itself. Or that's how the myth goes. Now the problem with that particular job title or monarchy is that any time, day or night, he could be challenged by a runaway slave, or B, a stranger. So it doesn't matter if it's 3 in the morning, 3 afternoon, or if EastEnders is on at 8:30, he could come up and challenge you to a sword fight, and then he would have to defend it. And if he got killed, the person who defeats him takes the role of king. So it was a very precarious role, as all monarchy is and always will be, because you never know what's going to happen in the corner. And I suppose this is the same with all monarchies sort of thing, and this is no exception, much the same. So this is called Under Golden Bower. Under golden bower, dark greed does gather so, with blade, blood and fortune, Rex Nemeresis his body and soul. In Diana's mirror, no shadow dawns upon its sight, only slave slewing high priest can mar this sanctuary into night. And what of this restless crown that hangs of death once claimed, turning glory to heartfelt fear, and nights into restless rain, clear in sight this once held beauty, hidden behind a veil of golden light, now only a shadow of butchery, with black cloth hung as night. But light beguiles and beckons all who come to this Diana shrine, cascade of dreams seduced and tempt to all that come to take the throne. Yet the victor is not the king. It is she of the golden light. Stranger and slave will live and die, but the sanctuary is just stillness and light. So that is all my poems on that. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the reading of them. I'll finish off this section with another poem from the book I have out at the moment. Not quite hot off the press, but still got a burning sensation on my fingers. It's this one. If the camera get to it. It's called Cunning Talk, and it is based on the witch trials, the 15th and 16th century, and about the persecution they went through, and the executions and all that. So, and I will finish off on one of these. So I will go for, which we have just we'll go for this one. It's called Good Wife Stanton. She looked down in a light of pain on spinster Kipps, as known as her known name, crumpled and crying in the dust on the floor. Good wife Stanton spat, "You're a witch and more. Let me sleep, I pray thee, let me be. I'm not a witch, can your eyes not see? I'm a cripple, what harm can I do? I can barely stand, least put a curse on you." Good wife Stanton shook her head again and again. "You know what you done, my late son, aged 10. A curse you put on his golden fair head. By sweating fever with your hand made him dead. You cannot blame me of his death, or anyone. He dies the rest, yet ever so young." You killed him, good wife Stanton yelled. "To think I turned to you and gave you devil's spell. Your curse turned him white, sweating like summer, eyes red shot, a thirst that wouldn't stir. My boy died bloodless, a trinket of bones. Your devil claimed him by fire and stone. Let me be, it's grief that taunts you, not I. I may have said curse words in devil's cry, but never to harm he or other I make no die. Leave me, mistress, I pray thee, I do not lie. You will pay, spinster Kepps, for this deed well done. I'll see you yet swing low on the rope rung. For his life you will pay, grief is just the devil's way. You'll wait and see, spinster Kep, the devil will be." And that's say from my book at the moment, about the witchcraft trials. Anyway, I think I've kept enough time talk in it on my talk. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I now pass you over to the next candidate who's after me or before me or whatever. So anyway, thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.